Hi, this is Kelly from Autism Mummy Vlogs, and I just wanted to share with you an experience that I had today at my local shopping centre supermarket in that area. I live in a very high multicultural area with a great deal of Middle Eastern immigrants here, and usually it's fantastic. We don't have a problem. There is hardly any racism in the area. Obviously the kids all get along, that's what kids do. And this video isn't entirely based on autistic children, but I mean obviously it does involve them quite deeply. We are not born racist. This is not inherent. This is something we are taught. This is something we learn. We learn it from our parents, we learn it from peers, we can learn it from other people in our family, even learn it from media, TV, the news. Please excuse the changing light. For some reason the sun keeps going in and behind the clouds. Maybe I should have closed the blinds. Anyway, carrying on, I'll stop babbling. Just having a quick look at my notes here. What I was thinking about and wanted to talk about is, if you've noticed that kids, when they play, they don't look at the colour of somebody's skin. They don't look at them and think, well, you look different to me, so I'm not going to play with you. They just base it on who they want to play with and who they're enjoying playing with it. So obviously racism is not inherent, and it is something that we're taught. And unfortunately, parents and other members of families pass it on to children, and that's how it begins. And sadly, this is what's happening, and this is what's happening in today's society, in this, this time of big fear and sort of uncertainness and a great deal of intolerance. Kids don't get the difference in religious beliefs. They don't understand it, nor should they have to. So that doesn't even enter into it. But what I love is I see them playing, and they don't. There's no care. There's no care for colour. There's no care for anything. It's just, do I like you? Are we having fun? Yep, let's keep going. And this is, neurotypical kids, ASD kids, whatever. You'll notice though, as they get older and they get into the higher, grades of, we call it primary school here. That's, perhaps to kindy, basically to 6th grade. Up in the upper areas, the grade 4, 5s and 6s, you'll start to see this emerge, sadly. And that's what I mean by it's not inherent, it's a learnt behaviour. My daughter goes to an autism school in this area, as I said, which is highly multicultural and has a lot of Middle Eastern families living in the area. So she has a lot of Middle Eastern children, mainly boys, as autism is, a lot of boys get it more than girls. And you just don't see any racism there. You don't see it with the kids. You don't see it with the parents. You don't see it at all. It doesn't enter into it. And I wonder to myself, is it because we're all facing the same situation with our children? Is it because we all, tend to stick together, and, if someone else's child falls, we go to help immediately? Autism parents do tend to stick together. And I wonder if it's got something to do with that, or whether the fact that autistic kids, even more so than neurotypical kids, just don't get racism. They just don't understand it. And I've seen it with my daughter. She may fear something that's a bit different, such as a full burqa with even the eyes covered, but she simply asks me about it. And I give her a brief explanation that she can understand. And we carry on, and it's not an issue from then on. So as I was saying, today I was at my local supermarket. I was just about to enter. I had my trolley ready to go in when I heard, just a few metres away from me, a woman yelling and a man screaming out vile racist remarks, yelling at this woman well, I didn't know it was a woman at the time, but screaming, "Go home, get out terrorists, we don't want you in Australia, leave, look at what you're doing, you're killing children." I think he was referring to the Manchester bombing, where Ariana Grande's audience were obviously, most of them very, very young girls, and families that went to that concert. Maybe he was referring to that, or just a nutter in general. But he was screaming this at her, and a lot of people turned around, and a few people were walking towards the situation. I myself wasn't, because he seemed crazy. But I did stand there and horrifyingly watch as soon as he was saying these, screaming these vile obscenities at her, and he wasn't just saying that what he said. There was a lot of swearing. I'm not going to put it on this channel, obviously. He grabbed her by her. She had a hijab, face open, but a hijab over the hair. She had a child in a stroller. Child looked like a toddler. Obviously going about her day shopping. Just innocently walking around, going about her day shopping. He, as he was screaming these things at her, he grabbed her by the side of her head, grabbed her hijab, and I assume what was her hair underneath, and began trying to rip the hijab off her head. This woman was holding onto her stroller and trying to move away and crying, starting to cry, starting to scream, help. People were already moving towards the situation. Quite a few males were. The females were disgusted but standing back. He was a large man who was doing this. And yeah, attacking a woman in public. Let's even forget the religious connotations here and the vile racism. Attacking a woman in a public place. It's just... So as he's grabbing this and the hijab and her hair and trying to remove it from her, which I'm not going to get into right now, but had he have managed to successfully do that, what she was going through and the shame and the fear and all those awful emotions of being attacked would have tripled if they had taken if you had successfully got that hijab off. Luckily, two large gentlemen came racing over. One who looked to be an Islander man, very large man, grabbed him in a bear hug, told him to cut it out. Another man pulled the woman to the side, and a couple of other Arabic ladies, also wearing hijabs, rushed over and started comforting her. People were filming this. It will definitely be on our news today, the Melbourne News, if not the National Australian News. I removed myself not completely from the situation, but far enough away. No, I didn't film it. I removed myself from the situation, but close enough so if anyone wanted my name to say what I'd seen, that I would leave my name and my phone number as I needed to get what I need to get done and get to pick up my daughter. So I left my name, and maybe I'll be contacted by the police. I don't know, but I'll tell them what I saw. The thing is that child witnessed that. There are other children around witnessing that, and I just can't even imagine Isabella, 9 years old, being on the spectrum and seeing that happen. She wouldn't understand that this was had racist connotations to it, and religious beliefs were being thrown up in the air, and the word terrorism was being thrown at this woman who's simply going about her day doing her shopping with a child. There's obviously no terrorist activities. I can't imagine how she would have felt. Like, I know how I felt, and I understood it all. But not understanding, can you imagine? Like, this is just some random man attacking some woman, calling her vile names. I hope she never has to see this publicly, because I don't want to have to explain to her why this man was saying these things. I don't want her to have to know about the fear and the ignorance that is going around right now. I really don't. She goes to a multicultural school. Like I said, her autism school, high multicultural area, high Middle Eastern area, a lot of Muslims. So, there's a lot of mothers wearing hijabs, a lot of Muslim fathers wearing full religious clothes. And we all get along. We get along great. Even the language barriers aren't a problem. Actually, they're quite amusing, so we get along great. There isn't any issues. So she just wouldn't simply understand. And I'd like to hear from anyone who has witnessed this, or if your ASD child or even your neurotypical children have ever witnessed anything like this. I'd like to hear from you below in the comments. And just tell me your story as well, because I find it both disgusting but fascinating to look at, because this is crazy times. I mean, this is insane. Really, this is insane. This is a woman doing her shopping with a child being called a terrorist, getting physically attacked, and her hair would have been getting grabbed behind that hijab as well, being pulled by just a man walked up to her in the street, complete stranger. I can't even imagine how her day is going to be, her week, her month, her year. So just before I go, I'd like to put an idea out there. I'm going to need to find out if it's going to be offensive towards Muslim women, and I have a lot of Muslim friends on social media and that live in my street, and like I said, at my daughter's school, so I'll speak to them about it. But I had an idea that maybe for a week, all of us, all women, but this is particularly in my area, I will make up some flyers, some situations where people can find out about it, make an event on Facebook, make events on my Facebook pages for Isabella. I have an anti-bullying Facebook page as well for autistic kids. I'd like to spread this around, and maybe just for 1 week, all women. Doesn't matter what religion you are. It doesn't matter where you come from, where you were born. It doesn't matter. All women to wear a hijab for a week. Even if you don't want to do it in public, that's fine. But in your profile picture. I think this is a show of solidarity to women who had either had something like this done or hear about it, and they will hear about it. And this is like the 5th or 6th time I've heard about it happening in Melbourne, in my area. I've never, ever experienced it till today. But, I think that might be a good idea, just to show a solidarity for these women. And maybe it will make a slight difference, even just to their lives. And to just maybe say, hey, it's cool to have your own beliefs and be Australian. It just, how does it matter? It doesn't matter. She's just shopping. Calling her a terrorist. Unbelievable. Anyway, so that's my experience, and also my little rant, which was, always going to come because I babble. And I'm pretty opinionated as well. But, leave anything you'd like to comment in the comment section. I get back to everybody. Also, again, if you want help with support groups or anything like that, or just to have a chat, all of my information is linked below. If you'd like to do it privately and not in the comments, my email's down there as well. So, and so is my social media. So I hope everybody has a great day, a much better day than that poor woman, and myself, because I'm still a little shaky from it. And yeah, have a great day, and bye.